All right, so this is a mini session, our last one for the week with Professor von Dilfenschmer and Dr. Beide, PhD, going to at least the plan is to go to the Academy of Sciences to do a couple things with alchemy. Is that right?
A few investigations, a few intrepid instruments and studyingments, potential acquisition of components and materials.
Yep, that was just insane enough for it to be believable. So it's the early hours of the morning when you and Beide set out from the Bell's Bounty. Your colleague, Dr. Beide, is at your side. The early morning sky is dark with fat rain clouds that release occasional precipitation. Soon the scattered drops turn into a deluge, and both you and Beide are forced to don your cloaks. The citizens have done the same. Those that are up this early in the morning all go about their business closely bundled up to keep off the rain and the unseasonable cold. When you guys arrive at the campus of the academy is likewise devoid of all traffic except for the unfortunate few who are forced to be up at such an hour out and about. You arrive at the door of Jezon's lab just before 6:30 a.m. by your estimate, and your estimates are always right. You can already hear rattling and clanking from inside.
Rattling and clanking from inside.
That's
Oh
right.
my.
Would you like to go in, or do you need to do something before you go in?
So we're at the academy.
You're at the academy right now, and I assumed you wanted to go to Jezon's lab. Is that correct?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. If you want to go in, I've got more stuff here.
Yeah. Uh, I want to observe from the outside for a moment and just kind of peek in to see what I see, what's going on.
All right, the doors are closed, but if you edge one open, you see that things are pretty much the way you left them. Make a perception check.
And it's crap.
As far as you can tell, things are the way you left them. Jezon's in there, banging away at something. A bunch of a setup of flasks and tanks, test tubes, pipes, burners, canisters, spinning wheels, and gears. To say that Jezon's alchemy table is a bit complex would be like saying the hells are a bit undesirable as tourist destinations.
I slide the door open and good morning, dear Lost.
Okay, and Jezon turns to you, kind of surprised. Like she looks surprised that you're there. She looks like she's been up for a while. She's got little bags under her eyes and such. And she says, "Oh, it's you. Hi. You kind of caught me in the middle of something."
Do you need a hand, dear?
No, no, I'd really rather do this myself. She, her eyes and her face are cast down at the floor, kind of staring at nothing. And it's just then that you notice that the rat, the cage and the rat are gone.
Oh my. Has something happened afoot? Surely there was no robbery.
No, it's nothing like that. Duke Squishy Nose is no longer among us. He has gone to run on the great wheel in the sky. Not to worry, though. This is merely a step in the process of discovery.
I understand it's always saddening to lose such valuable data after you've been working with it for so long. But cheer up, buck up. We have much inventing and scientific things to do today.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, I probably shouldn't even be working right now, but it just, I wanted Duke Squishy Nose's death to mean something, you know? I couldn't just sit here and not work today like I was advised to do. I I think I just want to get back to work, you know? Throw myself into it.
Brilliant idea. Most discoveries are made when you have lack of information. You just throw yourself willy nilly into it. But be cautious. Things have a tendency to go backwards on you when you do things too hastily.
Indeed. Listen, could you just not tell anybody that I'm working today? I would really appreciate it.
Mum's the word. If you'll just point me into a facility laboratory, I need to run a few tests on some items first and see what's going on and about. Make sure I can dust off these dusty old bones a little.
You're welcome to use whatever I've got. The head wizard, if you remember, gave you permission to work in here with Jezon, so you can use any of her stuff. She just kind of waves her wrench around like, "My place is yours. Come on in." So, what would you like to do first?
So I would like to take the sample of the tumorous stuff and analyze it, see what it's composed of.
Okay.
So I'm guessing I need to go to her alchemy table and start
Yeah,
running
just
through some chemical compoundings of it.
yeah. A lot of her workspace is in the middle of there. She's working on this machine over here with a bunch of tools and such. Um, okay, so you're gonna run some tests on the tumor creating things, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the creep.
Go ahead and do. So you're gonna do like a alchemical test, I guess.
Yeah, I'm test the for chemical components, and I want to uh, understand its properties.
Okay. Why don't you? We're gonna do the physical test first. Do an investigation, and then it's time to do magical stuff, we'll do an arcane check.
Shouldn't it be medicine?
I guess it depends.
Because my investigation is crap.
It would appear so, especially when you
My
roll a
rolls are.
one.
I told you I have the worst rolls of the group.
Okay, so the stuff
Consistently.
in the tube that you got, the black stuff that seems to react badly with living tissue, it's confounding your chemistry setup. And it doesn't seem to want to go into solution with anything, especially water. It doesn't want to seem to burn or even like or vaporize or anything like that. It doesn't react to much of anything you can tell.
Girl, come take a look at this. This is fascinating. It's not much unlike oil and water, but yet the properties are quite cancerous.
Huh? Jezon kind of she comes out from her work. She's like, "Oh, just hold on. I'll be right there. I just need to get this done." And she gets underneath the thing and she's like, "Oh shit, come on!" And like steam like pops out of one of the pipe fittings that's next to her, and she's like, "Ah, God," and she quickly wrenches it closed and does her best to fix it. All
It
right.
seems that you need a little few repairs.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. I mean, I guess I'm a little distracted. I mean, it's not like I haven't had a rat before, but I thought Duke Squishy Nose was going to make it, you know? Out of all the test subjects, he was doing great.
I understand.
Poor little guy. I really thought we'd done it that time. He had increased mental acuity, increased rate of healing, an immune response, significantly increased energetic play. He was doing great. But
What
then
were you treating him with? Let's work backwards from this a little.
the water. This, the I'm sorry. I keep on forgetting that you're not from here. The water here in Wellton is believed to possess latent healing properties. At least that's what people believe, and there's some truth to it. It's,
Hmm.
it's nothing like a healing potion or a spell. It's strange and it confounds a lot of the scientific process. I mean, the sick and ailing that come here hoping to bathe naked in one of our fountains and be cured are in for a disappointment. However, imbibing and bathing in Wilton for a lifetime, that's something else. And did you know that the natural life expectancy in Wilton and the surrounding communities is 7% higher than the general population?
Fascinating.
I mean, that's something worth studying and then harnessing, which I've been trying to do.
I wonder if this has anything to do with y'all's alignments and breaches.
See, that's what I thought too. And I've been trying to isolate the part of the water that might be causing this sort of thing. I mean, it's just water. But then when you do tests on it, you realize that it's not just water, but then you can't find the thing that's causing that's causing all of these reactions, and it's confounding. It's like working with something that's invisible. But I thought I'd been doing it, and then Duke Squishy Nose is liquefied in his cage one day.
Liquefaction.
Yeah, it was quite a thing to walk into. Very smelly.
Hmm.
I hope he's okay wherever he is.
Quite curious.
Anyway, I'm working on a setup here. You see my series of tubes and gases, electricity, and all that. It's to separate some of the properties of the water, and I'm doing my best. Really, I should not be doing this close to the alignment, but like I said, if I'm not working, I'm just thinking about all the things I might have done wrong.
Perhaps you didn't do something wrong, but perhaps there's something you didn't see.
You know what? I will take a look at that sample. So she pulls herself out from underneath her pipes and such, and she comes over to you like, what is this stuff?
We acquired it from a cart. Not quite sure where they were going or where it came from, but I touched it once and I immediately wrapped myself with cancer cells. It was not a very pleasant feeling, I can promise you that.
Cancer. Huh.
Yes, tumorous growth, immediate.
And you say it's completely inert to chemical test?
So far, at least, it doesn't seem to want to bond and bind. Everything that I've done so far seems to be repellent, let's say,
But when it
non coagulative.
but when it touches your living tissue, you immediately get out of control growth, but it's wrong, right? It's uncontrolled growth. That's pretty much what cancer is, right?
Correct.
Hmm.
It's unwanted cells that completely compound and compound and compound until they form gross and can be quite hazardous.
All right. You tried any magical test on it?
Not of yet, but I would like your opinion before we go into any arcane, before, just in case, explosives and whatnot.
I'd rather not have something explode right now, but my lab has metal walls reinforced. My summoning circle is over there, or at least my arcane containment circle. Might want to try it over there, and that's the place that'll have the best shot at not exploding anything important around here.
Very well. Shall we give it a go?
Dr. Bitey already has like a little in his mouth. He's got a couple test tubes and a knife and such. He goes over to the summoning circle, waiting, and he turns around and waits for you.
Righto, Dr. Bitey. Let's see what we can divulge from this. Perhaps a little arcane knowledge.
Okay, make an Arcana check. That's not bad. That's pretty good. You've got a good Arcana bonus.
Just because I'm smart.
Yeah, you're a
That's
smart
all.
boy. Okay, so hold on, let me look at what I have written down here. Sorry, this stuff is strange. You can tell it definitely has like a an affinity for the abyssal. It's a strange sort of substance. It's it's completely black, although you might see a little bit of hint of purple. But you can tell that it's it's not inert. There's something moving around in there, but it's hard to see with your eyes. The liquid bends and swirls in strange, vaguely hypnotic chaos that do not seem to keep with physical law. Magic is at play here.
Hmm. This seems almost interdimensional with the way that it interacts with the spells. In fact, it almost seems to be alive.
Dr. Bitey, his big head just kind of nods next to you, and he goes back over to the shelves over here.
Hmm. Perhaps the divergence has something to do.
And Dr. Bitey comes back with like the test tube full of the Miju or whatever the substance was, the Mijuve that they got from the folly. He hands it. He not hands it to you, but he hands it to you with his mouth.
Hmm, interesting proclaiming, Dr. Bitey. Should we attempt to mix a little, or should we identify first and then mix?
Dr. Bitey, being a reptile, is impossible to read in this case, unless you want to do animal handling.
Uh, why not? Let's see.
Okay, so you can tell Dr. Bitey is not into mixing it. He just want it seems that he just wants to test whatever this stuff is as well.
Right, though, Dr. Bitey, we'll do a check on it and see what kind of magic it produces.
He gives you a big nod, big nod. And Jezon is like, "So? Nothing blew up. That's nice, huh?"
And so far,
Okay, Arcana check on the Mijuve. So,
yes,
sorry, I had to cough there. This
you're
stuff
good.
is it's definitely like a purple liquid, and you can tell that it's not entirely clean, like it's got stuff floating in it because they got it from so many different things. But the liquid is quite similar. It the same stuff. It bends and swirls in strange ways. It doesn't keep with the laws of physics. It's tied to the abyss. The two substances are linked in some way. Um,
Fascinating.
your magical tests reveal it to be unlike any potion you've seen before. If it's Mijuve, there's no reason it should be healing people at all. But the results speak for themselves.
Hmm. I'd like to take it over and do a chemical test on it.
Okay,
See if there are any worldly chemicals.
okay. So this stuff seems to be easier to test. It doesn't go into solution, but it does create a mixture just fine. And whenever putting it through tests, go ahead and do your test. I mean, do your investigation. It's not terrible. I mean, so during the testing, like subjecting it to heat and a little bit of air introduced into the mixture, and it has a major exothermic reaction, and the test tube itself just kind of melts through on the bottom, and the stuff gets onto the table, and then
Oh
it
my,
becomes inert, and it turns like a blackish color.
turns black, you say?
Yes,
I'd like to do another investigation on the black stuff to see if it's similar to the stuff that we have already tested.
it is another test. Go ahead and do an investigation check, or yeah, the two substances are pretty similar, if not identical. Like your stuff is obviously fresher, so it's more energetic whenever you look at it under like a microscope or a magnifying glass. But the two stuff is very, very similar.
Oh my. I say, good girl, have you been using Mijuve on that rodent?
No, I don't use that stuff. I don't trust it. I don't trust the Mijuve at all. I mean, I tried it once, and I don't know. It's like being it's like being drunk and half asleep, and I don't know. It's not a good high, let me tell you that.
I say, good girl, this stuff, this Mijuve, is very similar to the cancerous stuff. In fact, I dare say that it's the same stuff, just once it's exposed to an exothermic reaction. AA, it heats up, it turns inert and cancerous, causing unwanted growth in wart.
Hold on, let me see that. She reaches out her hand. She wants to see your Mijuve.
Can I slap her hand away so that she doesn't?
Yeah, go ahead. So okay,
And
so you slap her hand away, and she's like, "Ah, come on!
unprotected? What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
Did you not hear me tell you already? This is quite toxic.
Okay, okay, it's toxic. I was gonna put it through my setup over here, the one I just fixed.
Please do, but be cautious, is all I'm saying. I'd
Yeah,
hate to have to deal with what I had to.
you've piqued my curiosity. I mean, Mijuve is made right here in town. I have to assume that they've been working on the same thing I have. I mean, why else would a healing potion corporation come and set up base here? There's no trade routes. I mean, they've got to be using the water, right?
That's my curiosity. If it is based on the water, could it perhaps be that they tried to enhance the water's properties as is
I don't
and
know.
have come up with some abomination?
Maybe they found substance X, the the variable that I've been trying to work with. I mean, you saw what it did to Duke Squishy Nose. I mean, he was doing great, and then yeah. Anyway, I'll put it through the process here. I'll put it into my tank and let it go through, and we should see some kind of reaction eventually. So as she as she adds the sample to her setup, like in a pressure, like you can tell she puts into like a funnel, which goes into like a little airlock. She then closes that, cranks a handle, and pushes a lever, and then the whole thing electrifies, and you can tell it's starting to build up pressure in its system. She says, "Okay, it's going to take a little bit, but I'll watch it and I'll let you know if anything happens. All right."
Very well. In the meantime, I suppose I should start working on some of the other things. You have a fully stocked lab, I see.
Yeah, and Dr. Bitey's right there with like a mortar and pestle.
Yes, yes.
It's kind of creepy how he
This,
sneaks up on you with the equipment like that.
thank you, sir. Shall we start with some aluminum oxide?
Dr. Bitey goes over to the table and seems to ready his tiny hands or tiny arms to assist.
Take some. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to go through her shelves to find it. Some
Uh,
aluminum and
they're labeled and everything. The shelves are a mess, but the things are labeled and you can find them no problem. You are a professional, a consummate professional, so you can find your ingredients just fine. Make your stuff. And how well you roll determines how much you're going to get out of it. So let's see. I've never had somebody do alchemy in game before. What do you think the roll should be? What kind of thing?
medicine and an arcana check.
You want to average them out?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. I think that sounds reasonable.
I mean, because it's medicine and arcane
I guess
combining.
so. You're making what, thermite or trinitrotoluene?
Thermite right now.
Okay.
So it's iron plus aluminum. Two aluminums to oxidized iron.
All right, go ahead and make your rolls and we'll average them out. And the amount of ingredients you're using, if you roll like a 20, like you do really, really well, I'll give you 5 units of thermite.
All right, medicine roll
Not great, but not terrible. Terrible.
first. Terrible.
All right. So that's 10 on average. So we're going to give you 2 units of thermite.
I, all right, dearie. Do you have somewhere safer than your arcane circle? Because that's not going to cut it if this chemical compound is what I hope it is.
What did you just make in my lab? Should I be frightened?
Oh, no, no, no. It's just something that will constantly burn at degrees that are, let's say, hotter than the closest fireball has ever been.
Am I going to need goggles?
Yes, with
Ooh,
all hope.
that is my favorite kind of experiment. So she has a forge and a crucible right here that should be pretty safe to do it in. But or do you want to waste one of your thermite things or to test it, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll waste one to test it. If I have to, I can make some more, can't I?
Yes, I mean you
Okay,
might have to go get more ingredients. I mean you're
okay,
using what she has right now.
okay. I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna use one just to make sure that I don't mess it up too badly.
Okay, so you'll have
Uh,
one left after this.
that's fun. That's more than what I was hoping for.
All right, so you throw the thermite into the forge, stoke the fire, and it goes off beautifully. There's like this bright, bright light. The both you, Bitey, and Jezon all have your goggles on, and Jezon is clapping like a schoolgirl, like, "Oh, yes, oh, that's beautiful. I love it. That made my day." Doctor
Yes.
Squishy Nose would have been pleased. Not Doctor Duke Squishy Nose would have been pleased.
Now, this chemical compound is quite volatile to heat. So,
No
if I
kidding.
teach this to you, um, be sure to keep it somewhere safer.
Yeah, I'm thinking under about, I don't know, a mountain of sand.
Oh, if you want glass.
Oh, is this a good way to make glass? Great.
Yes, it actually is. Fantastic way to make glass very quickly, but not always the best quality.
So the reaction winds down. You can tell there's a bit of damage to her forge, but she doesn't seem to care. It seems to happen all the time. And Dr. Bitey is suddenly behind you. His goggles are off, and he has a container of nitrate in his mouth.
Ah,
Ready
yes,
for the next
nitrate.
one.
Yes, 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 yes. Now we need nitrate, sulfur.
It occurs to you that you have no idea how Dr. Bitey got his goggles off with his tiny arms, but he did. And Dr. Bitey is working the bellows at the chemistry station right now.
Uh, So I need to refine toluene. Uh,
All, all the stuff is
so,
here.
alright. So I'm going to start with the carbon from seashells. I'm guessing.
Okay, to go ahead and make your two rolls, and we'll see how much you get. The same deal.
Okay.
16 is better. Wow, that
What?
was a big old Arcana roll.
I I double tapped.
Oh, I see. I see. 16.
Yeah.
So 15 is 2/3. Yeah. You get 3 units of dynamite today.
Uh, Now this is the compound that I was talking about earlier that will revolutionize any kind of mining. I'm afraid that reinforcement is needed. Much reinforcement.
Okay. If I remember correctly, you said that you wouldn't blow up anything on campus. Is that correct?
That is correct. That's why I prefer not to test this right now.
Yeah, you're welcome to not test that in here.
Righto, righto.
So I'm just adding Jezon's icon on here.
Finally.
Yeah, I know. It took me a minute. I had a lot of things in my mind. Okay, so Jezon just rolled a one. So suddenly something inside of her setup ruptures. There's steam coming out. Dials and stuff are going nuts, and all the light bulbs that are around the lab pop, and there's like black smoke coming from Jezon's alchemy table.
Oh dear. I'm afraid we might have a little incident here, my dear.
You don't say. Hold on. I'm getting the extinguisher. Everybody, stay calm. This happens more often than I would like. And from the smoke and such, like you can see like there is a shape coming out. Like the whole room is dark as hell. There's no windows in here. The only light you see is from the light of the forge over here. Super dark, but inside the smoke, inside the shadows comes a form with wings.
Oh my. Fascinating. Where do you hail?
So all it does is give you like a really toothy white smile. This teeth are whiter than you think it should be, and it disappears. Roll for initiative.
Mhm.
Here we go. Character sheet. Rolling
That was
that
not the right
initiative.
person. Yes. Gotta get the right character sheet back up
Yeah,
for
I hear you.
initiatives.
I gotta get Dr. Bitey's character sheet out.
Bum bum bum. Oh, now I want to roll.
Dr. Bitey, PhD. Rolls shitty initiative. I think I'll roll for Jezon, but I have to remember her thing. It's a 13. Okay, cool. Jezon does not have a character sheet per se. She's a civilian, so she's very fragile.
Gotcha.
Anyway, okay. So the thing looming above you gives like a sort of cackle, and then it is moving towards you. What are you gonna do?
I say, good sir, might we mince words and not fists? It would be much more pleasant.
I am free. No words, only kill.
Oh, what a shame.
You hear like you hear this voice in your head. It's talking to you through your skull. Do you have dark vision, right? Since you're a
Yep.
okay. How far?
Yeah. I believe it's 60 feet. Let me double check real quick.
So right now you see the world in black and white. It's
Yep,
very
60 feet.
okay. It's very difficult to perceive this thing coming towards you. Um, and it doesn't seem to move. None of the objects in its way actually. It doesn't pay any heed to those things. It just goes through things. And
Hmm.
this is very dim light, and you can tell like it doesn't seem to have a whole lot of form unless the light flares particularly brightly from the forge. All right, it is your turn. You're welcome to begin.
Well, let's start things out. I pull out a vial and throw it at it, casting Ray of Sickness.
Damn, ray of sickness, and all those dice, and it's 7 poison damage.
I know.
Okay, so
Con save.
okay,
14.
con save. Okay, so so your vial explodes, and the green sickly light comes out, but it just rolls over and ignores the whole thing, and it's still on its way to mess with you.
So it didn't take damage, is what you're saying?
It did not. It You don't think it even noticed. It has eyes only for you right now.
Hmm. Well, that's all I can do for the current time.
Are you going to move, or is that
Well, if I moved, since I'm right next to it, it would get an attack of opportunity. So,
yeah, it's true.
yeah, no, I'm not going to move.
Okay. All right, so the thing comes up to you and reaches back with like a shadowy hand, and it swipes through you, like through your body. It doesn't seem like it's corporeal, but when it rakes its claws over your skin, you feel it. You feel it like more in your soul and in your head instead of like with anything else. And you take 11 psychic damage.
Damn.
Yeah, this dude's no joke. Dr. Bitey, for his part, is backing away toward the fire right now. He's got his eyes directly on the scene playing out in front of him, and he seems to be backing toward the fire for comfort and so that he can see. He doesn't have dark vision like you do.
Gotcha. And are
And
you going to have.
yeah, Jezon is about to go. All right, Jezon, she's like, oh no, oh, I knew I shouldn't have messed with the alignment. So she takes like her wrench from her toolbox and throws it at the demon, and it kind of goes through it. She's like, "Well, that's not going to work at all." Like the wrench kind of like bonks off of its head, and hold on, let me roll damage for her. She actually did do some damage.
So physical attacks do damage, but poison did nothing.
All right, so she does 1 damage.
Huh. Okay.
So you saw I rolled a three. I rolled a 3 there, but it did 1 damage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, Professor von Dilfenschmer.
Well, only thing to do when something doesn't want to die the right way, burn it with fire.
Ooh, green flame blade.
And this should be an attack with my weapon, if I'm correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so I make a melee attack on it.
All right, so you need you to roll the d20 for that to see if you hit, right? Shit. What is that? Those are weird
Uh,
dice. Those are d10, aren't they?
yeah,
Okay, so I need you to roll this next attack with advantage. You've lit your great axe on fire, and it's increased the light in the area so that the creature shrinks back. He's like he hisses at you as you swing the axe down on his head. So in this case, he has disadvantage.
gotcha. Rolling again.
Those are
Just
not
rolling the
d20s.
damage.
Yeah,
Yeah, and hang on. It's not. Hang on. I gotta roll the hit die separate.
yeah, at advantage.
That's six. One more roll.
Okay, so this one connects. Like your great axe with the light and everything, the blade actually hits something solid inside this thing. It hisses at you and backs away as the flame licks up its body, and you get an attack of opportunity.
All right,
So
come on. Great.
that was 1 and 4, right? So like 5 damage
Yeah,
total.
yeah.
So remember, it's advantage since you have it lit on fire.
It's only when I use it as an
Oh,
action, I think.
no worries then. So this time it backs away too quickly for your axe to actually get around in time.
I believe. Let me double check. Reading Green Flame Blade. Yeah, it's only a single action.
Okay. All right. So the thing backs off from you. All you can see now are its eyes. It's in like the back corner over here, and suddenly it's gone. Like it melts into the shadows. You can still hear like a sort of hissing and breathing coming around in the room, though.
Oh my. Everybody on your toes. This thing doesn't seem to go down that easily.
So you don't hear anything, but you feel like a presence, like going around the room, like stalking around the room in the darker shadows of the place. Dr. Body does like a little mewling like "Arr," over here by the fire, but other than that, he doesn't do anything. Je-
And,
Jezon, for her part, does not see things as well as you do. After your axe goes out, her night vision is ruined, and she starts to back toward the fire as well.
safety in numbers, I suppose.
All right, it's your turn.
And we'll back to the fire and ready my green flame blade for an attack.
Okay. All right. Oh, damn it. It deleted my guy's fucking initiative, so it's his turn
He was
next.
17. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So you hear things you hear things in the dark, and suddenly he's over here on this side of the room and he takes a swipe at Dr. Bitey
Jesus.
and does 11 psychic damage to him. Minus 11. And then attempts to back off from Dr. Bitey. Dr. Bitey, having just been hurt, he does like a roar and then he snaps at whatever it is that tried to hurt him and
Yay,
does
bitey.
3 damage. All right, so you can now see the thing. He's in the firelight, kind of. He's over here, and it's your turn.
All right. Shouldn't it be Jezon's?
Oh no, Jezon already went this last round. She's after Dr. Bitey. It's your turn. Oh
Okay.
wait, no, it wasn't your turn. It's Dr. Bitey's turn.
Yeah, Dr. Bitey's turn because he got hit and then he took a reactionary shot when he backed away from him.
Yeah, Dr. Bitey, not being a coward at all, charges at the thing that he can finally see. So let's see. He doesn't have enough room to build up speed, but he does get a chance to bite at a thing again. But it snaps on nothing. Jezon sees the whole thing happening, and she picks up a burning piece of. She picks up like a one of the, let's see, it's like a crucible with a handle on it. She tries to pick up some coal out of the fire and flings coal over there in the direction of the thing. The coal itself doesn't seem to do any damage, but at least increases the light level, especially when something on the shelf seems to catch fire.
Uh
She's like, I saw that going differently in my head, but hey, more light.
oh.
All right, now it's your turn. Let's
Alright. I shall move here and then down for my full movement action. And then since it worked well the first time, green flame blade.
advantage on your attack. Yeah, that's a hit.
And just
Also
for
a
good
hit.
measure.
Just in case you got a crit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Ooh.
one. Nice. Minus 13. Okay. So the thing having fire on this side of it over here with the shelf slowly becoming more and more alight, your flaming green axe over here on the other side, it it hisses at you and attempts to flee over this way, and you'll get an attack of opportunity on as well as bitey.
All right.
Not bad, bitey, not bad.
At least Bitey hit. I did not.
Yeah. So it goes over here like above the fireplace and disappears again. He melts into the shadows up in the top of the room. It kind of like crawls up the wall and then swoosh, it's gone. It's melted into the shadows.
Seems like we have a phantasm on our hands here.
Jezon, for her part, looks at the crucible in her hands and looks at the fire again, like the coals that she could fling at it, and she just kind of shakes her head like, better not. She stays by the fire. Hey, do you have any idea what that is?
It seems to be a phantasm.
Phantasms are undead. If I had to guess, it's something from the abyss. The alignment's right now, and I don't know. It just seems like it fits a little bit too well.
Well, the substance did have a hint of the abyss with it, so chances are you're right there.
Ah, God damn it! I I shouldn't have been working today. I should have called in until next week.
But look at all the adventure you're having, dearie.
She sighs, but then she's like, whatever. And so she sticks her crucible into the fire, gets it red hot, pulls it out, and like holds it over her head like a baseball bat. All right, so it's your turn next. The thing is still hidden in the shadows.
Yes, I am going to move back here around away from the fire.
If you want to make a perception check to see if you spot the thing, you can. I have to roll its stealth against you.
Yeah, I'll do a perception check.
All right, its stealth roll. Nah, it stays hidden. You can hear it. You can hear it moving around. You can feel it in your head, but it hasn't shown itself yet.
Alright. Then I will ready and attack with green flame blade
Okay.
and pass my turn.
All right. All right. All right. Okay. So is your axe on fire right now?
Um, so I'll just link you the green flame blade.
Okay. Brandish your weapon. Use the spell's casting to make a melee attack with it. On hit, the target suffers weapon attack, normal effects. You can use green fire to leap from the target to a different creature of your choice. Oh, I see. So it kind of happens during the swing, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
Okay, okay. All right, so the thing comes out of a
But
shadow
we got fired there,
over by
and
the shelves, and it comes over to you to attempt to claw you again.
so since it's close enough, I get to do the green
Yeah,
flame blade, correct?
make your attack. And it's an advantage because your blade is on fire.
Oh,
Oh,
crit!
oh shit. So quadruple damage.
Oh, thank God, because
Quadruple of 3 plus 4.
4.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So 7 times it's 28 and he has to make a constitution saving throw.
Why a Constitution shaving though?
I don't know. You just
I
deleted the
didn't.
card.
I didn't see the card.
Like a dumbass. Okay. Uh,
Rewind, rewind.
I know. I can't. I can't rewind. Anyway, he saved anyway. I don't know what
Okay,
it does. So I guess it was a debuff. Anyway,
probably.
you do 28 damage to the thing. You cleave almost entirely through the thing's torso, but it pulls itself back together and goes after you with its claws.
Oh boy. Hey, it doesn't hit me.
No, it does not hit you. In this case, it failed very badly. So it swipes at you with its claws, but you are too smart and you avoid it. Now the thing is right there for Dr. Bitey, PhD, to
Why'd you
go,
put him in the fire?
yeah, around the fire. Okay. Dr. Bitey goes after it with his massive jaws. Not charge, damn it. Maul. And does the damage. 13. Wow, Dr. Bitey.
Damn,
Minus
I've been
6.
poor.
Okay. All right. Jezon, for her part, not to be outdone, she runs over here with the poker and tries to swipe at it. Let me give her an attack roll. Get out of my lab, you demon! But the swipes go right through it. The thing is not. Her improvised weapon is just not doing anything to it. It's your turn.
And of course,
Of course it is. So this is a cantrip. I can't believe it. It's crazy.
yeah,
It's pretty
it's
good.
an
It's
amazing.
pretty good against the shadow demon. Like I'm
Alright,
serious. It's
and
advantage. Nope.
still missed.
This time he's too slippery. He can get around it.
You vile thing.
All right. This time the thing attempts to get away from the lot of you to try to disappear into the shadows again. Go ahead and make your attack of opportunity.
Hey, I can hit.
Roll the damage. 4. Okay. And then it gets over to this corner of the room and
What
hides.
about Bitey?
Oh yeah, Biden needs to do it, doesn't he?
And Home Shake needs to try to.
She will try, but she's not exactly a trained fighter either. I'll give her a swing.
Freaking Bitey is just putting in the work.
He's a beast today. Like seriously. All right, here comes Jezon's roll. Yeah. All right, and he's gone again. You can hear the whispering. This time, it has like a very angry timbre to its whispering and muttering.
Alright. So back on my turn, correct?
Yes.
I am going to move to here, ready my action, and taunt it. Come,
Oh,
come, we will put you inside of a flask. It's a great life. Come out, come out.
and I guess you ready your attack.
Yep.
Okay. And as you finish your sentence, the thing goes "Wah!" and flies at you out of from the air. Take your reaction.
Nope. My rolls are back.
Okay, your axe sticks into the floor instead of making contact with the shadow demon. He goes after you. What is your
He
AC?
hits.
Oh, he hits this time.
Yep, 13.
Not great, just 5. I expected more of you, shadow demon. Okay, so it's hissing and biting and clawing at you with ridiculous fervor. It seems extremely angry to be here and be subjected to your fucking light axe. Bitey comes up, does his chompy chomps. Not today. Uh, Jezon for her part. Oh, she
Oh,
crits it. Well, she gets a crit card. Hang on.
improvise.
She does double damage of her next attack. Hang on.
Yeah, for some reason, all the crit cards are off screen for me.
Oh, weird. Okay, so she does 4 damage to it. All right, it's your turn.
All right.
Now remember, this thing is frantically biting and clawing at you right now. You can feel it has substance now that you're next to the shelf that's on fire and everything. Weird smoke is coming out from behind you, and things are starting to burn at weird colors.
Oh dear, we need to finish this up. Either come with me or go back to which you came.
That's a hit. Roll for damage. Okay, so your axe in its green flame goes entirely through its body. The thing uh, tries to slash at you one last time, but the claw comes off, and the thing separates, loses cohesion, and seems to fade into the shadows, and things are quiet once again. The only thing you can hear right now is your breathing and the crackling of the fire behind you.
I say, seems that situation's dealt with. Now we need to put out the fire.
We have safety brochures about this, not to work during the alignment, not to do stuff during the alignment.
Yes, yes. It seems that there is a small tear in space and time. It happens.
Duke Squishy knows you have been avenged. And then Jezon goes over to like this bucket in the corner. It's not a quenching bucket, it has no water in it, but it has a shit ton of sand. And she goes over and like starts putting it in handfuls on the shelf over here that's on fire. She seems to get the blaze pretty well under control, but it still seems like it could catch up at any time.
So, what was exactly on that shelf, dear lass?
A lot of things. A lot of my Ferris powders are up here.
Oh my.
And she's like, "So what exactly was in that tube that you gave me?"
From what I could tell from the arcane that it was producing, it was abyssal in nature, but beyond that, it seemed living almost. And now we can see why. It seems whoever is doing this Mejuve is reaching through the veil and bringing back things that should not be here.
That's a heck of a jump, don't you think? Just because Mijuv works doesn't mean it's, I don't know, evil. I don't like this stuff, but I don't want to go accusing anybody of black magic just yet.
We'll see how the Mejuve broke down into the black tar. It's quite cancerous. It brought forth a demon. I don't know what else we could assume.
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to baste a turkey in it. I'm just saying that what if it's an unintended side effect of this stuff? I don't know.
Come now. If your water has healing properties innate, let's take a test of the water. Let's see if it true has any abyssal properties. And then we could potentially link everything together.
Well, that is what I've been doing for a long time. I can tell you now that the water does have a hint of the abyssal in it. In fact, it's probably the reason why our place has a hard time with the alignment whenever it comes around. But that's
So
not
per
that's not exactly ingredient X. There's something about the water that heals people, but it's not the abyss. That's for damn sure. Nothing good can really come from the abyss.
who said that it was technically good? I mean, look at Mr. Squishy Nose. Perhaps it is a slower reaction, and all Mijuve is just an increased reaction. Perhaps it's a concentration of the substance.
It's a good hypothesis. I can't really argue with it, seeing as how I just summoned a demon in my lab. The paperwork is going to be ridiculous. Again, you're not going to tell anybody I worked during the alignment, right?
I didn't see anything. How would I explain to anyone what just happened? Why they would laugh us out of here. Without any more concrete evidence, we must have it.
Professor D, yeah, can I call you D?
Why, of course, dear.
I think you and I are going to get along just fine. You keep this quiet, and you and I are cool.
Let's take a look at this water, and perhaps we can work out something.
Okay, go ahead and apply your academic mind to the water. But the lights are out, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I'm increasing the DC on it.
All right, so investigation first,
Investigation Arcana. Ooh, damn.
and an arcana check, just to throw it out there.
Okay. Yeah. The water, though it doesn't have the obvious um, abyssal side effects of the other stuff, it appears to have a. It's more like black matter in that you see the water, you see that it has something odd about it, but it's more about what's not there. The things that it does and how the liquid and stuff reacts to it. It's it's something that's undetectable, yet judging by how the substance around it reacts, you can tell something is there, and that something is a vessel in nature.
I believe we have abyssal microbials almost. It's not necessarily detectable in the water, as you've come to find out, but more akin to its interaction with the molecules itself. It's not acting as properties of regular water. I have, in fact, some water on me we can compare.
That now that is a hypothesis. Abyssal microbials. I've never heard of such a thing. But they'd have to have that kind of thing there, right? It can't just be all like chain demons and leather wearing succubi that want to suck the vitals out of your body. It's got to be
In
Buddha
all my
stuff too, right?
in all my studies, there's always some form of microbial or bacterium.
I like it. Now, how are you going to test it?
Hmm. I wonder if we can increase the pH or somehow form a way to concentrate them. If we can concentrate or find their substance that they grow off of, perhaps we can increase it and figure out what they actually are.
I kind of wish we had Miju's notes right now.
Perhaps this is the very same work that they did to begin with.
Indeed, that process. I know the guy that did that. He's a genius. Like he is an actual Renaissance man, and it took him years to figure the thing out. And then he went private and took the whole thing proprietary.
I wonder if he took it proprietary just to avoid any scrupulations.
Scrupulations. I like it. Yeah. Well, I guess we could ask him ourselves. His name is Dr. Torgo. He
Are
lives
you
in.
in good standings?
Oh no, no. He knows I'm in the same field, and we have not had the best of interactions. But then again, I can't really argue with how well he's done for himself.
Still, alas, if he is upon the same points, then what he brings forth might even be worse than that thing we just summoned. Could you imagine if he had pounds of this goo and all it took was pressure and heat?
Hmm. I wish we
What
had
kind
his
of things would
notes.
we bring?
I mean, his notes were the property of the university, but when he left, there was a Well, let's just call it a mysterious fire in the archives. I always suspected him, but I never thought he'd be trucking with demons in the abyss and such.
Perhaps he has taken advantage of certain properties up there. They're constantly in torment and torture, so they'll always have a chance for higher regeneration.
Hmm. Listen, I'm not an adventurer, but if you need any lab work done, any assistance, I'm here. I can put aside everything, but I'm gonna do my best not to summon another demon in my lab. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand. Perhaps the headmaster would have more information on the notes, or perhaps a secret copy of the archive somewhere.
I don't know. He may see you if you say the right things. Right now, I imagine he is chin deep in warding the tower right now with the dimensional magic and everything.
Yes, yes. Perhaps when all this passes through, but who knows? It may be too late by then.
Too late for what?
Well, how long has Mead been around?
I don't know, a number of years. Haven't always had the same formula and the same success rate, but it seems like they've been stabilizing lately. Mijuve only got really, really popular within the last year.
That's quite troubling. The more popular something is, the more it's used, and, well, as you can see, the higher chances for something to happen.
She shudders. She's like, "Oh, I really hope you're wrong. It, Mijuve has
But
really done a lot for this town."
could you imagine if that small sample we had brought forth that demon? What would a larger substance bring?
I don't know, and I really don't want to find out. Okay, so it's been an hour. If you want to make a decision like about where you want to go and stuff, that's fine. But I think that's good for the night with our session, unless you want to do something in this lab right now. I mean,
Besides potential knockout gas in the dark while she can't see me?
oh yeah, if that's on the agenda, go ahead and make your rolls for it, and then we'll call it quits. All right.
Uh,
All right. You make three things of what was it? The knockout gas.
yeah.
All right. So, like right now, seeing as you saved Jezon's life and you're showing yourself to be competent, she's letting you have the run of her lab pretty much, and she'll assist you with whatever.
Uh, then I shall try to find out more about the Mijuve on the next session and potentially try to meet up with people,
Yeah, sounds
which
good.
I guess would be headed towards the end, which, as far as
Which
I
is no
know, is
longer
safe.
safe. Yeah. Somebody's gonna get a fun surprise.
Yeah. And I'm just happy that, no high lows happened
Yeah.
because that would have been bad.
Anyway, good sesh, bro. Good times.
Oh, yeah.
You role played that really well, and you had a lot of good ideas.
I appreciate you, sir. That was fun as hell.